Well, so far today, we've ended up with. I do appreciate whoever said that there wasn't any volume or sound. I said it was my first live on YouTube, so there's gonna be issues, and I appreciate that. But no, so far we've ended up with a bunch of bluegill, tiny bluegill. This lake has absolute monster predator fish, bass, pike, all that good stuff. So they're and the reason that they have so many is because they're a load of tiny little bluegill. So for a majority of today, we'll probably be end up catching those little bluegill that we already have. And then hopefully we end up with some big old bass at some point in time. It wasn't. I think it was last weekend or something like that. Ended up catching a. Oh, and just as we said that, oh, we caught a 6-pounder. So just as we were talking about it, there's a flag. This could be a little rocky. I apologize. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's not spinning. Oh, it is spinning. I take it back. Oh, I didn't bring. Oh, it's hauling. I didn't bring brought my board, but I didn't bring the scale. If it is a big bass, so we'll just have to do a measure. And she stopped spinning. Nope, she's still going. All right. There we go. Let's see. Of course she's done now. Be like that. There is an absolute ton of wood in this lake too. So, nope, it's barely going. So I hope she didn't end up in that, but don't feel anything, unfortunately. I feel tension, but it might be in weeds. This tip up was put right next to the weeds, so purposefully, because that's where they're hunting, but that's where she went into. Let's give her a yank. Oh, we got it. We got something. Hopefully it didn't gut hook it. Oh gosh. That's what we're looking for. Look at that guy. Probably a 3.5. Solid fish. All right, we'll have to get her unhooked real quick. Not gut hooked, but a little bit deeper than we would have liked. But that's what they do when they'll end up taking it a ways, and then as they're taking it, just digest the whole thing. And when we're using small hooks, there it was. There, easy. Look at that guy. I don't know, we'll give her a quick measure. I don't want to keep her out in the water too long. It's not very cold out here, so that's good. But we are looking at a solid stay. That's an 18 and a quarter. Solid fish. Solid fish. Let her go. And she's off. All right. Fun. And that's not even a big one for out here, to be honest. They get way bigger than that. So we'll have to go grab another minnow. Unfortunately, we left the minnows back at the shanty. So we'll go ahead and grab that, get her set up again. So like where this hole is, right? So I drilled a second hole, put live scope down, and it was like right on the edge of the weeds. So drilled a second one, a couple feet over. It's still plenty close for those fish to come out of the weeds after it. That one did, so that is phenomenal. 2 bass. what have we've been fishing for 30 minutes. We might actually run out of minnows potentially, but we want the big ones, those 5 and 6s. Next time we will most certainly be better about bringing the scale. But yeah, go get another shiner, get her put on and set up. All right. I don't know if everybody tip-up fishes or ice fishes in general, so we'll do a bit of education. So for, at least in Wisconsin, you're allowed 3 lines. So typically you don't have 3 rods. So to use or to utilize all of your lines that you're able to use, a lot of people put out tip-ups. And that's one of my favorite ways to fish too. So a tip-up doesn't have to necessarily have anybody with it or anything like that. And it will basically, kind of like a bobber, let you know when a fish bites, even if you're not there. So basically what it is, just this little disc. I like the Frabill ones because they keep snow out of the hole and everything else like that. The round circular ones. But basically, you just go ahead and have your line down there. It's on a spool or a spindle. And as soon as a fish goes ahead and bites and pulls, it will go ahead and move that spool or spindle, and flag will pop, basically letting you know that a fish bit. And then you have to run on over to go ahead and grab that, hopefully, before the fish gets wrapped up, tangled in anything, and end up losing it, or it gets gut hooked or something like that. Especially when you're catching and releasing, you definitely don't want anything gut hooked. But that is that. Not bad. 30 minutes, 2 flags, bunch of small bluegill. What a day, especially if this is our last trip. But if anybody has any questions by any means about ice fishing or anything like that, make sure to go ahead and drop that in the comment section below. Love to answer any of those, because I do a ton of ice fishing. But not a bad start to probably what is going to be our last trip of the year. But let's get back to the shanty and then see if we can't pass some time with some small bluegill and crappie before we end up with another flag. Hopefully, bigger fish. All right, there we go. Close up so we're a little bit warmer. It's not too bad today, actually, but still. All right, and we don't have any bluegill or anything down there right now, but all right, let's see if we can't catch some more bluegill. Hopefully there's some more bluegill that roll through, but all right. Next time, definitely got to remember to bring the scale. But that is a good start. Might end up having to put on the heater actually in here. All right. Just a baby tungsten and a spike. About as simple as it can possibly get. There we go. But yeah, if anybody has any questions about gear, ice fishing in general, especially if you've never done it before. When I was a little kid, I always had like big dreams about going ice fishing, and it took me quite a while to be able to get out and do it, but had loads and loads of questions when I was a little kid. But it is fun. But towards the end of the year, I'm ready for spring. And then it finally gets to the very, very end of the year, and I try and eke out as many days as I possibly can back out on the ice, because I know it's going to be another 9 months before we can get back out. But we've been on. Oh, there's a little guy. Not a big one. Eat it. Oh, no. Missed him. You take our spike? Did not take our spike. Shoot. There's a better one. That is definitely a better one. Those probably are either decent fish or decent bluegill or crappie. One of the two. I'll take either. Oh, dude. They're all coming in. I just want a better one. Come on. Just a school of them. There's no reason for one of you not to eat. I wonder if they're being chased. It's like 12 fish and not a single one. And we lost our spike. Come on now. There we go. All right. Put on that one. Do a little color matching. See if that doesn't draw them up. Nope. There we go. And again, we're in like a bit of a creek channel through the middle of this lake, so there's gonna be a lot of fish that kind of just roll through on here, so we shouldn't have to really move too much. The fish should kind of just come to us. Oh, just like there's one coming right now. Oh, do they get scared? They're just chilling on the far side. Get over here. Ew, that's not good. With LiveScope, it has been super interesting to watch how often these fish get scared by things. For the longest time, I thought it was LiveScope that scared them, but then I would end up keeping LiveScope in the water and just pulling my lure and line out, and the amount of fish that would roll through when I had nothing down there was crazy. And it's not like I use thick line at all. I mean, typically my braid is 3 to 4 pounds, and then mono or fluoro, whatever I'm using, is like 2 to 3. So it's not like there's a reason for them to be super skittish, but it does happen. It's kind of crazy. That was a decent fish. He wanted no part of that. especially the smart fish. It's crazy the number of fish that you'll see on either side of live scope just sitting there, and they're like 5-7 feet away from your bait, and they just don't even want to come near it. Fish are smart. But we're just gonna keep catching these little panfish and wait for another flag to pop. We only got a half dozen of the suckers, so I don't know that we won't potentially roll through them at this rate. But again, if you guys like any sort of fishing content, ice fishing, anything else like that, I do just a little bit of everything. So it greatly appreciate it if everybody would like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Come on now. Oh, there's some fish. Little guy and a big one on the left. Come on. Nothing. All right. There's a little one, tiny. My guess would be a little perch. Nothing. We need those monster schools to come back. Where there's like 40, 50 fish in them. Oh, there's a fish. Come on over, buddy. Come on. He's not very big. Little gill would be my guess. Come on. Oh, there's a better one. I'll take you. Oh, that one's streaking up. There's no way he doesn't bite. He's got it. Got him. Little guy. Wow. Tiny. Tiny, tiny. I don't know how many times I can say it, though. Oh, there he goes. That is why we have such big bass in this lake. Because they have an unlimited supply of food. It's also why it's difficult to catch the bass in this lake, because they also have an unlimited supply of food. That one's a little bit bigger. Come over to it. Look how slow that is, though. Like, this is the part of live scope that's just wild to watch. That this fish is that weary of something incredibly, incredibly small with incredibly light line. Crazy. But we're definitely in double digits now, though, for number of fish. I'd prefer them all to be big bass, but we have to have caught 8 or 9 bluegill, something like that. 2 bass. Not a bad start in the first 50 minutes. In all honesty, you give me one 5 or 6 pound bass, and I will be happy for the day. I don't even care if I catch anything else. There's a small part of me, tiny part of me, that wants to attempt to go fish tomorrow during the blizzard. It's supposed to be pretty nasty. We're supposed to get 20 some odd inches of snow apparently with 40-mile-an-hour winds. Just to say that we did it for the most part, because it would probably be miserable, but I've never fished in a blizzard, so I don't know if fishing is good during a blizzard. Yeah, we have lost a ton of fish. They are not coming through nearly as frequently as they were. This is, I almost want to put up 3 tip-ups, but if we put 3 tip-ups up, then we got absolutely nothing else to do besides wait. That sounds like somebody. Oh, there's a little fish. You gonna eat? Come on now. Don't be like that. Scared him. Scared him. From the smallest of baits. It's wild how finicky they can be. Still nothing on the flags though. Well, since our last fish, I guess, but I was hoping it was gonna be as good as it was last weekend. And we were having flags up every 15 minutes, but doesn't seem to be the case yet, that's for sure. again, I appreciate anybody and everybody who's watching by any means. And again, if you're new to the channel, we do an absolute ton of fishing, just about every kind of fishing, at least that we have up here in Wisconsin. So if you like it, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But so far, we have not done awful. It did slow down in the past like 15 minutes, which is not ideal. But hoping for that to pick up in a little bit. Oh, there's one. Oh, he's streaking it like crazy. He's got it. Oh, he had it. That one didn't look small. Do we still have a spike? About to find out. Eat it. Got him. It's not a big one. A little bluegill. Came streaking in. The first or second one was the one that was a little bit bigger than what we typically catch on this lake. But again, this is... Oh, there's another one. This is basically just to bide our time and have a little bit of fun before waiting for flags, because this is not a stellar panfish lake by any means. Should keep count of how many fish that we have now. 2 bass. Probably, I would say 8 bluegill. Probably 8 bluegill. We'll say double digits. It could be a couple more than that, but highlight of our day is for sure a 3.5 pound bass, but there are much, much bigger ones. We're not out here for 3-pounders. I would say today is not a great day if we don't catch a 5. And I will stick it out here as long as I have to catch a 5 or bigger. I think it is supposed to, I can't remember when it's supposed to start snowing, but it's not supposed to be very long before we're supposed to get absolutely dumped on. So hopefully we don't have to wait that long. But I might be out tomorrow in the blizzard, which would be an experience. I don't know if it'd be a good one, but it would be an experience. Oh, come on now. I wish Wisconsin had the opportunity to have more lines in the water than the 3. Wish we were like down south where a lot of places have 5. You put 4 tip-ups out there and you're probably having one heck of a day. But again, if anybody's got any sort of questions as far as ice fishing or anything else like that goes, by all means, go ahead and comment that down below. I love to talk fishing. If you have any questions, if you've never ice fished before, probably have lots of questions. But we are just sticking her out. Only fished for not even an hour. Had 2 flags already. Caught both of them, which doesn't happen all that often. A lot of times you have a lot of fish, especially bass, grab it and drop it. Especially with as much brush that we're fishing around and all the weeds. Yeah, they kind of get tangled in there and just spit out those suckers. But So far, we've gotten lucky. I just want to get lucky with a 5-pounder. I have caught an 8 out of here before. So that would not be awful. Last weekend, oh, there's one. Oh, come back here. That's not a bad fish. Come back and eat. What are you doing? Cruising. That was not, I bet that was a bass. It was over a foot long. There's no way. I mean, the only other thing that could be is a crappie. And that crappie or that bluegill goes. Last weekend I had my personal best through the ice, and that was like a 6-pounder. So hoping to break that today. And I guess that was a bit of a guesstimate because I think it was like right at 21 inches, 20 and 3/4, something like that. But she was fat, so she was probably pretty. And we got a flag. I thought I heard something. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, we're taking a mess of this already. 3 flags in an hour. That's not a bad day. All right, let's see. She is not spinning. It's not ideal. Same one right on that weed line. Yeah, not spinning. So, might have dropped her. We'll give her a second. Oh, yep, spinning. That might not be a bass. Got it. That is not that. Oh no. Okay, we got it. For a second, I thought we were stuck in a tree. That I don't think is a bass. We are in a tree. That's not good. I can feel it. But the fish feels heavy. So it's either I don't know, because it definitely went underneath a stick at some point in time. I can feel it bend. But fish is still on there. Oh, I think we got it out. Is there a fish still on it? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, not the fish that we're after. And look at all those weeds. She's pulling up. All right. Not the fish. Not the fish that we were after. Not seasoned for them. So we'll get this guy unhooked as quick as we can. Back in the water. If you don't know what I'm referring to already, we did end up with a pike. Oh no, did he just get stuck? Oh, it's stuck in the ice. It's because it's warm. Get off there. Get off there. We gotta, oh no. Well, that's not good. We're gonna have a wet sleeve. Get off there. There we go. Alright. Little pike. Right in the corner. Alright. Not really in the corner. In the roof. So we'll get him unhooked. These things have, if you've never caught a pike, okay, might have to get the jaw spreaders. They have nasty teeth. Definitely don't want to be putting your hand in there, which is why we have jaw spreaders. They have pretty decent ability to bite down. They have such big mouths. And she's out. Oh no. There we go. All right. Not a big one. But if you've never seen the teeth on those things, they are ridiculous, but we'll let her go. That was probably a mid-20. Not too shabby. Yep, that's all the weeds that we're fishing in for sure. She absolutely spooled though, holy cow. This is a bit of a mess. Took off. I don't even know which direction she went because should have gone, holy cow, should have gone into the weeds. I'm not even sure how this is possible, to be honest, but go ahead and reel this up. We might end up having to cut some line, maybe? I don't know. I don't understand how it did that. There we are. I think that should work. There we go. All right. Have like 30 yards of line to reel in. All right, we've got 2 bass, 1 pike, unintentional. Hopefully we don't catch too many of those. This lake we typically don't catch a lot of pike. Last week we caught one. That was the biggest I've ever caught out of this lake, and that was 37. That one was probably 25, 27, somewhere around there. Not a big one. Not worth a measure, but we'll have to check our line because they do have nasty teeth. Make sure we don't have to retie our leader. Just making sure that we don't end up with another flag going off at the same time. Man, did she run with it. Initially didn't run at all, but all right. How's our line looking? We definitely have to tie. We do have a bit of fray for sure. So go ahead and cut that, retie. We're kind of getting a short leader, which again, these bass are kind of smart. So I don't really like a short leader, but I don't want to retie the whole thing. You know. So we'll have to go grab another minnow. Because again, we left that over at the shanty. And I think we lost our sinker somewhere too. So we'll have to grab a sinker also. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. Looks good. All ready for another one. All right. If you ever fish for pike though, a jaw spreader, phenomenal idea. Makes everything so much easier. It's better for the fish. You're able to get them hooked, unhooked a lot quicker, making it safer, better chance for them to survive if you are ending up catch and releasing. But we'll go grab another minnow and grab another split shot for sinker, set her down and wait for another one. We've been getting bites every like 30-ish minutes, which is not too shabby at all. get our split shot all figured out. We don't have very big nose, so not that it matters that much. Perfect. And it is not very deep over here, so that is about right. There we go. And again, that pike barely nicked me with one single little tooth, and we're bleeding, but that'll happen. All right, let's get back to the shanty and wait for another flag to pop. Again, hoping for a big one, because we haven't got anything real big yet, but it'll come. It will come. It is starting to get cold out, though. We might have to throw a heater on. All right. There we go. Whew. All right. Cold, cold. I think we will throw the heater on. Just for a little bit at least. Wow. All right. Every fish that we have had bite on our tip-ups we've caught. Which, for me, is kind of impressive. I would say usually oh, there's a fish. Oh, and we scared him from clicking the button on the heater. Oh, there's a fish too. We gotta. Oh, there's a bunch of fish. Holy cow! Oh my gosh! Get down there. Bunch of fish. Come on. Come on. Can we catch one? There's the. Get it. That makes no sense. As soon as we put our line down there, all those fish stopped rolling in, and a lot of them on the far side of the screen stopped and wouldn't even swim over here. That is so wild. Blows my mind when that sort of stuff happens. There's a fish. Oh, oh gosh. Those were not small fish. Okay, well, that's not very big, but I'll take it. I think the bigger ones are starting to come out to play a little bit more. Probably why we caught that pike. There we go. That'll get warm real quick. Hoofta. See if we can't catch some more. So we have one small bass, one bass that's probably about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, and then a mid-20s pike, which again, not in season, so we're not trying to catch it, but when you put down a 4-inch minnow, anything under the sun's gonna bite. What a day. Again, if you guys like ice fishing or any regular fishing, if you wouldn't mind liking, greatly appreciated, helps out a ton. subscribing, because we do a ton of fishing stuff. Again, a little bit of everything. Obviously, we got ice right now, but won't be too long before we have ice out. We're back in the kayak and the mini boat and fishing from shore and everything else like that, but which I'm very excited about. I did end up buying some new baits last night, so shouldn't be too long before we have some new baits to try out. If there's any baits that you guys would recommend too that might be new or something like that. There's a good fish. Get over here though. God. There's two of them. Why won't you come over this way? Most certainly comment those down below. We'll probably fish for another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. See if we can't get one or two more flags. It is starting to get cold out though. I don't know where you guys are living or watching from, but most certainly comment that down, because if you're in Wisconsin, the next couple days are going to be pretty interesting. We haven't had tons of snow for, I feel like, a few years, but tomorrow should be pretty interesting. I think the entire state's supposed to get somewhere between like teens to 20 inches of snow. I think there's some areas that were calling for like well above 20. Like it was like close to 30 plus. But I don't even know if I tried to get out tomorrow, if I would be able to get out to some of the lakes that we fish. One more flag, that's all I want. And a big fish. Big fish. Big flag. That's what I would like. But the past hour of fishing is not, it's been pretty darn solid. At least for me. I wish the panfish in this lake were bigger, but again, that's why the predators are so big. But 12-inch bass, 18-inch bass, probably 3.5 pounds, somewhere around there, maybe 3 pounds, and then mid-20s pike. Not a bad hour. We have a lot of geese rolling around here. Hopefully they're ready for tomorrow. But again, as always, you guys like fishing content and everything else like that, greatly appreciate some likes, subscribes. Helps out a ton. But we're just waiting for one more flag. We've seen a fair number of fish on LiveScope that aren't tiny. All the ones that we have caught are pretty darn small, but there have been some that I don't know if they're small bass, which they most certainly could be, or if they're big crappie, but definitely seen a fair number of fish that are a foot-ish long. Come on, fish. I wonder if there's many more around us. When we first popped holes, they were everywhere. Then the last time we panned around, there weren't very many at all. There's a few. No. Yeah, those big old schools that we saw earlier, they are not here anymore. There's a few fish over there, but then those are just all the tons of brush and trees that we have everywhere. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. But again, these fish are pretty skittish, so I guess it shouldn't surprise me that as soon as we popped holes and started talking a lot that they weren't going to be around nearly as much. We're just waiting for, in theory, if we keep up with our pace that we have had, should have one more fish in the next few minutes on the flag. It's been once every 20-ish minutes. So hopefully end up with a couple more and we will be happy. Again, 6-pounder and I would be ecstatic. But they do have 8-pounders in this lake, so I've caught one before. Caught some 7s. Last weekend we obviously caught a 6, so it'd be pretty wild to have the biggest bass I've ever caught be through the ice. Be pretty wild. Comment down below what's the biggest, if you ice fish, what's the biggest fish that you've ever pulled through the ice? I think that's always a fun conversation. I've caught some very, very good fish, but nothing like wild. I've never caught a 40-inch pike through the ice. I've caught some upper 30s. I think 30, 38s. I caught a 37 last weekend. But I've caught some 38s, maybe 39s, but never a 40. And the 6-pound bass was the biggest thing I've ever pulled as far as bass goes. Haven't really pulled, I don't know how many walleye I've ever pulled through the ice. Not very many, to be honest, but I'm sure whatever the biggest one for that is not very big. Last year we caught some tank bluegill. Biggest one was, I think it was 10 3/4, something like that, almost 11. And then this year we've caught some very, very nice crappie in the past couple weeks. But this lake, unfortunately, we're looking for tip-ups and that's about it. Yeah. These bluegill and crappie have absolutely vacated this area. Which is kind of unfortunate. We'll give her another 5 minutes and hope that we get a flag or those fish start coming through a little bit better. But this can be the boring part of ice fishing for sure, where you're just ended up hoping and waiting. We could go ahead and try to decide to chase these fish, but in all honesty, they'll probably end up moving quite quickly after that too, because they were absolutely stacked here as soon as we drilled holes, and as soon as we did, they were gone. Probably went a little ways, but we'll give her another couple minutes and hope that we end up with something. Unfortunately, that after that pike, he probably cut through and stripped up so many weeds and everything else like that. It's probably really, really turbid over there. So we probably won't end up with too many fish over that way. Well, I think that's a, oh, there's a fish. I think we'll call her right after we catch this one, hopefully. Come on, buddy. Come on, eat it. What are you doing? There we go. What are you doing? Oh, and we scared him. Oh, gonna come back around. Come on. No. Well, that's not ideal. But that is probably where we will end it then today. Again, not a bad day. Ended up catching a handful of bluegill, 8 or 9 or something like that. Pike, bass, a decent bass, not a big bass, but a decent bass. And a little baby. But not a bad day for an hour and a half of fishing. We'll think about coming out tomorrow, depending on how the blizzard goes, but not sure how that'll go. We'll have to play that one by ear and see what happens, but hopefully everybody stays safe through that. Probably shouldn't be out driving if you don't need to be, but everybody have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe tomorrow.